David's iPhone contains a ton of CSAM, at least according to prosecutor.
It removed Celeste's fingers, specifically the one that had the name David tattooed on it.
Bro's an absolute monster. He gave her this ring on her married finger. His name is tattooed right there. Attached is a message referencing the party held just hours after Celeste was killed. That might explain why he just left the Tesla. Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? This is huge. David's phone has just been dumped and they have found CSAM on his devices. If you guys remember my previous coverage over this David case, I was talking about how they are more than likely gonna find CSAM on his device. I mean, obviously he was talking to Celeste since she was 11 years old, and now there's even more reports that he was also talking to a bunch of other minors. I think one of the minors that came out and written out a statement. For obvious reasons, she hasn't shown her face or anything like that. So what I want to see, and this is what I want to see, is obviously him having CSAM on his phone is disgusting, horrible. He's an awful person, right? But I want to see is this CSAM he has from his phone, is it only from the girls he was talking to, or is this also what he would go out searching for? And I am going to leap out on a hunch here. I am going to tell you guys, I would not be surprised if this dude was on Telegram group chats and stuff collecting this stuff. Just because he had access to this many girls doesn't mean that he also wasn't consuming this content just on the regular, you know what I mean? I mean, what the prosecution said, they had over 40 terabytes worth of evidence on him. Now, to be honest, I'm not gonna say that all of that is gonna be CSAM. A lot of that could be video camera footage. It could be text logs between him and other people. It could be a lot of different things with that 40 terabyte. But TMZ just reported on this. Prosecutor on David's phone chock full of CSAM. And if you guys don't know what CSAM stands for, CSAM is child sexual abuse material. I am trying to get more in the mindset of saying child abuse material because porn gives the connotation that this stuff is consensual. And obviously it is not in any world, any way consensual when it's an adult and a child. So just know, if they can't get the murder charge to stick, which I highly doubt that they wouldn't be able to get that to stick, they have a lot of other things to put them away for a long time. So let's go over this and let's see what TMZ has to say. David's iPhone contains a ton of CSAM, at least according to prosecutor. The singer was in court Thursday, exactly 1 year to the day of when prosecutors claimed he murdered Celeste Rivas for a status hearing on an upcoming preliminary hearing, which a judge set for May 1st. Now, the thing that I find kind of weird is the fact that it's looking like they're trying to get a speedy trial. You know what I mean? Everybody has the right to a speedy trial, or, a trial in due time in a reasonable amount of time. But a lot of times the defendants waive that right to give their defense team more time to go over the evidence, more time to maybe get evidence not included, all of these different things. But it seems like the opposite with David's case. It seems like they're trying to go head out forward. So what I think is, maybe while David was free, he talked to his defense team and he gave them at least everything that he could think of that the prosecutor would use against him. So they've been prepping for this. That's why they want to go on and have this be a speedy trial. I don't know. During the hearing, prosecutors claimed that they went through his phone and found a significant amount of CSAM. It is unclear if the alleged CP features Celeste. I'm going on a hunch. I would not be surprised. I mean, it's obvious that he has an attraction to minors. I would not be surprised if he was in Telegram group chats, if he was trading that stuff. He could have also been sending that stuff off, obviously maybe blurring his face and stuff like that. He seems like a very, very sick individual. So that is something that can also be used. Prosecutors also revealed a wiretap was involved in the investigation. Wow. They said the wiretap took place last year, but there was no other specifics. Wow. Now my question is, was this wiretap before or after they found Celeste's body? That's the question I have. Were they wiretapping him before or after? Man, and I wonder what they caught on that wiretap. David was shackled and wore an orange jumpsuit. He was calm, cool, and collected and looked kind of bored. He spoke briefly to the judge, telling her, "Yes, ma'am," as she explained to him how the prelim works. David's high-powered defense team, led by Blair Burke, told the judge prosecutors had not turned over their evidence, and LA County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman explained the delay. The prosecutors revealed there were three separate investigations. There was three separate investigative grand juries, and it sounds like these transcripts will become available at some point. As we reported, David pled not guilty earlier this week in his defense challenged the DA to put their cards on the table or fold, demanding an immediate preliminary hearing. Prosecutors said in the court Thursday they will be ready for next week prelim, and they want to go to trial within 60 days too. So right now, they're playing a game of chicken, right? The defense is trying to say, you got all this evidence, we want to take it to trial. And the prosecutor is like, we do got all this evidence, and we will take it to trial. Now, at this point right now, I am going to side more on the prosecutor's side than his defense team. I really do think they got all this evidence against him, and I don't think they're bluffing. I think they're really talking that ish. And so what we might see is he might not go to trial in 60 days. Maybe after they get all the evidence and they see how cooked they are, they could waive his right to a speedy trial and it could get pushed back. You know what I mean? So that could be a possibility. Or if they feel like they're ready, we could be seeing a trial in 60 days. It just all depends. David was arrested by LAPD last Thursday, and prosecutors charged him Monday with murder in connection with Celeste's death. He also was charged with lewd and lascivious sexual acts with a person under 14 years old and the mutilation of a human body. So they got him on a bunch of charges. So it seems like they don't want to get this other stuff on him just yet. Mario, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate you. So it looks like they're taking their time because they got stuff from other girls and they got witness testimony from other underage minors that he had sexual relationships with them. But they haven't put all that on the table yet. They're dealing strictly with Celeste right now. Prosecutors claim David killed Celeste with a sharp instrument, and the Los Angeles County medical examiner says the teen died from multiple penetrating injuries before having her arms, legs, and 2 fingers amputated. We're going to be going over this later, but apparently, well, not even apparently, Celeste had a tattoo on her, I think it was her ring finger. She had a tattoo on her ring finger that said David, right? And that was one of the fingers that was amputated. I actually don't know if someone in the chat could let me know. I don't know if they found that finger or not. But there was a picture before that showed that she did have a picture of David, or a tattoo of David on her finger. And coincidentally enough, David, the sick bastard he is, he has a tattoo on that same finger as well. And it says, shh. Like he's trying to keep her a secret, right? The DA claims David was having sexual relations with Celeste when she was under 14 years old. By the dating of everything, it looks like she was like 11 when he started that relationship with her. And when she threatened to expose him and devastate his musical career, he invited her to his Hollywood Hills home on April 23rd, 2025 and killed her. Prosecutors claim David later cut up her body, stuffed it in 2 bags, and kept her remains in the trunk of his car for over 4 months as the body decomposed. You know, they said they found the load of CSAM, right? Now, the thing is, though, is the prosecutor could be saying that it's CSAM, but it's really not. I think that it really is CSAM that they found on his phone, and I would like them to release how many images it is, you know? Like, they just said a significant amount, you know? They didn't, like, and when it comes to this stuff, they have exact counts on it, you know what I mean? Like, when we had guys that were caught up for CSAM, they had exact counts on how many these people had. And also, I'm curious to see if they're going to add those charges on. You know what I mean? Hey, Jadeon, love your videos and everything you do. Have a blessed stream, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. So, y'all, what do you guys think about this, man? What do you guys think? He's officially cooked. Like, he was cooked before, but not only is he a child murderer, he's a child chomo, all of these different things, man. Like, the only way he can have a pleasant time in prison is he would have to be in protective custody forever. But look at Tory Lanez, you know? He was high status, and eventually they let him out of general pop, and he got stabbed up a bunch of times. Now imagine what's going to happen to David. Let's go over the autopsy, chat. Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? So, this is the official autopsy for Celeste Rivas. The coroner just, delivered it out and everything. The prosecuting team was ready to put this out there. So we officially now know how and when and how bad it was, how she was killed, right? So this is BNC News. Shout out to him on TikTok. He went over everything, man. This is going to be very graphic, okay? So if you guys don't think you can handle this, man, click off, because this has to deal with mutilation. And, she was only 14 years old when this happened to her. So let's go on and get into this.
David removed Celeste's fingers, specifically the one that had the name David tattooed on it.
So as you guys can see right there, this is Celeste right here. Now, I don't know if we know if... I'm assuming that he gave her this ring, bro. Bro's an absolute, monster. He gave her this ring on her married finger, and she got the name David. You can't really see it, but his name is tattooed right there. And also on his finger, let me show you guys. David, shush. David on... Okay, so this looks like his index finger, but he has a tattoo on his finger as well, in the same positioning as Celeste, and it says shh, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if, bro, man, it could be a lot of things why he did that, man. Like, hey, I want to keep our relationship on the low. I don't, David, I've seen interviews of him, right? And he seems like the type of guy to where he wants to, people to think like he's like a mastermind. I saw something about him trying to make up like a manga where he was trying to solve a murder, but he was actually the murderer the whole time. He seems like that kind of dude that really thinks out everything that he's doing. He does it in his music videos. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he does it in his music videos. He does it in his music, obviously, where a lot of fans have found references to Celeste in his own music. So I wouldn't even be surprised that's why he put that on his finger. He seems very methodical like that. That is fact. How does the CSAM charge work? Is it like he gets charged per pic/vid, or is it like 50 pics equals one charge? So yeah, so that's usually how it works, is they group it up. So you can be charged for having one, but I'm not gonna lie, if you had just one thing, I'm gonna be real with you, they could arrest you, but would you be doing prison time? Probably not. So it's grouped up. So I'll give you guys an example, right? So this is a dude that we got arrested here in Houston. So this is his official prison paperwork, right? So his name was Jason Sexton. And so this is what they did with his charge, right? They just got him with online solicitation of a minor. But the reason why he got 8 years is they pretty much made it a compound charge, where they also had a bunch of CP from his phone. And since he gave a plea deal, they didn't also hit him with the CP. So they pretty much just they were like, hey, don't take us to trial. Let's go on and get this over with. You're guilty. Take this plea deal. We'll give you 8 years. So they just gave him online solicitation of a minor. And when he gets out, obviously, he's going to have to register as a sex offender. Now, Alex had a case where they had a dude with a ton of CSAM, right? And so the prosecutors, they came up with a deal with him saying, hey, if you take 40 years, we won't open up your devices and go through everything. So they didn't even open up his device, and he took the 40 years. That lets you know in of itself how bad that dude's charge was. So when it comes to that, that's why I want to know how much CSAM he actually had. You know what I mean? Because they could say a load, right? But they just said a significant amount, right? Now let's say it's 20 images. You know what I mean? That's still a good charge they can put on him, but it's nothing detrimental to where it's oh, we gotta get him on this charge. The only way it could be detrimental is if it's him producing it and him being in there with those minors, right? Even if it's the minors sending it to him, it still wouldn't be that big of a charge if it's not a large amount. Unless it's him in the video. But you guys are saying 40 terabytes. But y'all, that is not 40 terabytes of just CSAM. You guys got to think about it. Think about maybe they have traffic camera footage, right? And it might be a week long, you know, it could be his neighbor across the way had a camera and they got camera footage directly at his house. That 40 terabyte, they also remember they have a wiretap on his phone. You feel me? So they have a wiretap on his phone. Who knows how long they had that wiretap on? Sometimes the judge will allow you to have a wiretap for 30 days. So that's 30 days worth of calls that they have recorded. It's a lot of Tesla footage, exactly. It's a lot of things that 40 terabytes can be. You know what I mean? So don't think that 40 terabytes is just straight CSAM. And the fact that it's like they just said a significant amount. If it was something like ridiculous, the prosecutor would put out there that it was something ridiculous. They just want to put out there that the fact that he has CSAM. That's all they want to do. They're low key. They're poisoning the well right now. They want to get public perception for David to be at an all-time low. They want everybody to be against him. They want so many people to be against him to where people that might know information will come out and rat on him. You know what I mean? And they're also trying to put all this information out there to make him feel overwhelmed to him just taking a plea deal. And the only plea deal that they would give him is life. So let's go over this autopsy.
We just got the full autopsy report detailing exactly what happened to Celeste, and this is crazy. So the medical examiner said that Celeste was killed by multiple penetrating injuries with unspecified objects. Specifically, 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges that may represent sharp force injuries. The wound...
So 3 to 4 inch length and 1.5 inches deep. So I get it. Her body was so badly decomposed that like it took time. But like, what? They found her body in September. So October, November, December, February, or January, February, March, April. So 7 months. 7 months to figure out that she was stabbed. It's like, I mean, I'm not a coroner, so I don't want to, you know, jump. He probably will have to work on other cases. But like, that's 7 months to figure out that she got stabbed.
On the upper abdomen penetrates the liver, and the wound on the left chest penetrates one of the left intercostal spaces with disruption of the adjacent ribs cortical surfaces.
So a lot of times what prosecutors like to point out is how many times the person stabbed you. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's say the cops come into a house and they see someone got stabbed, right? If they see someone got stabbed like 5 times, that tells a way different story than if somebody got stabbed 80, 90, 100 times, right? So I'm curious to find out how many times was she stabbed? And it can also show it being more methodical. Because like if it was like 40 to 90 times, that can maybe show that he might have not intended to murder her right then and there, and just heat of the moment, emotions got over him and he just started stabbing her. But if it shows less times, it could show that no, his intentions was to go in there, kill her as quick as possible, and then start getting rid of her body.
Also said her left ring and pinky fingers were removed.
Her left ring and pinky finger. So, and keep in mind also, they said that they had physical evidence, right? So physical evidence meaning they more than likely have DNA. So they might have David's DNA on her. And you guys, this is a way clearer picture. You see right there, David. It is pretty much a fact that he was in a relationship with her.
Including one of her fingers with the tattoo that had the name David on it. But they said her right pointer finger with the tattoo that matches a tattoo David still has was still intact.
Wow, I didn't know that. So they had matching tattoos. Oh, wow, chat. Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Oh, wow, yeah. And you know what? You know what? This is what I need. I need that tattoo artist to come forward. Bro, that would be huge if the prosecutors could track down who it was that gave them that tattoo? Oh, autopsy finished December 10th, apparently. Really? Really? So it was just straight, because y'all, the LAPD stronghold, I think the prosecutors wanted it to be more official, and LAPD got tired of waiting because they were getting all the flack. So they were like, we're going to go in and arrest him, and you guys better charge him, or else if you let him walk, this is all on you guys.
Also said her head was partially skeletonized with an absent left eye.
So with her head being partially skeletonized, that pretty much means that her body was so badly decomposed that she was already turning into a skeleton. You know what I mean? Like, she's in a hot Tesla frunk. I think the car was black. It's absorbing all of this heat and everything. Like, the decomposition was probably just like on times 10 for her.
Other interesting thing is that the initial autopsy report said that there was a presumptive positive for meth and MDMA, but there was another screening that said meth was inconclusive and MDMA was not detected. They also said that Celeste may have had alcohol in her system, but it didn't contribute to her death.
So, yeah, man, who knows? He could have had her come over there, gave her something to drink, drugged it, then, did what he did to her. Like, bros, the fact that we got people out here saying that he's innocent just absolutely just disgusts me. Because even if you want to say that he didn't murder her, like, it is a fact that he was in a sexual relation with a child. And you're still out here defending that, bro? You're weird to me. Z-Dog, thank you for the prime. I appreciate you. Can they catch people he potentially shared CP with? I'm gonna be real. Man. That is the prosecution. That is the least of the prosecution's worry. You know what I mean? Like, let's say he just sent one image. Like, they can arrest him on that, but I'm gonna be honest, man. If that person only has one image of CSAM on their phone, bro, they would not be in jail for long. They would have the lowest bail possible. And max, like, bro, man, I'm not going to even lie, man. Any halfway decent a defense attorney could get that charge just waived. You feel me? Like, CSAM charges don't really mean anything until that stuff starts piling up. Which I think is also disgusting. Like, bro, no one should even have one image of there. But, yeah.
Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as any new details come out, I'll keep you guys updated. David removed Celeste.
So yeah, man. I'm happy that they dropped the coroner's report. They could probably go into more detail, but yeah, this case is going to be interesting, and if it does go to trial in 60 days, best believe, man, we are going to be watching the whole things, bro. We are gonna be on it. We are going to be on it, man. And I hope these other girls that David victimized and abused, I hope their story gets told, and I hope they get justice as well. So here, another minor comes out about David. So I had seen this. I'm trying to... So this video... So this is the guy. Steve Fisher is the private investigator who's been working this case. And I wouldn't even be surprised if I feel like a lot of his evidence is the evidence that the prosecutors are going to be using. So let me see. You see? Look at this. 10 terabyte drive for David's iCloud account alone. So David's iCloud account is already 10 terabytes of the 40 terabytes of evidence that they said they had, right? And you can't tell me that all 10 terabytes have something to do, at least these 10 terabytes have something to do with the case. It doesn't. So on April 24th, 2025, just hours after prosecutors alleged that David killed Celeste, his management team held a Withered album release party in Los Angeles that began at 8 p.m. David likely took a red-eye flight to New York afterward. All his managers were likely in Los Angeles for the party. The house at Celeste was lured to, according to prosecutors, and was leased by his management company. So the question is, who knew what and when did they know it? April 23rd and 24th were not quiet, uneventful days or nights. David had just performed at Coachella, his album was being released, and a party was held in his honor. There were people around him, and he was the center of attention. It is difficult to believe he had much time completely alone. Who knew what and when? If you attended the party, and this brings back any memories of David or others in his immediate circle acting unusually, if you were at the rental house, if you saw Celeste around April 23rd, 24th, please contact LAPD Robbery and Homicide Division. If you're willing to speak with me, I will keep your information confidential, except as required for law enforcement. This is about justice for a 14-year-old girl. Attached is a message referencing the party held just hours after Celeste was killed. So, yeah, man. I mean, this wasn't like he could just kill her and had a bunch of time to chill. A lot of moving things are happening, and you know what? That might explain why he just left the Tesla. Now that I think about it, that explains a lot, because the Tesla was just left in a random on a random street, and then it was just towed to a you know, like one of those places where they put abandoned cars. Wow, him having an album party explains so much, to where he probably didn't want to just leave her body in there, and he probably didn't want to go back to the car. And it was just like, I'm gonna just leave it there and just hope nobody messes with it. Tow yard, yeah. That actually explains so much. This is the timeline I put together covering the period just before it is alleged that David killed Celeste, through the time shortly after it is alleged that he dismembered her body. So let's see. Prosecutors allege Celeste Rivas arrived the evening of April 23rd at David's rented Hollywood Hills home and was last heard from around this day. So April 23rd is the last day she was heard from. Then on that same day, his world tickets drop. David posted a TikTok. Your prayers have been answered. It's finally here. He's promoting the album. His world tour tickets are officially on sale. David posted on Instagram, my Withered World Tour is now available on sale. He flies from LA to New York. So this is the date that he allegedly killed her. Promoting his stuff. He has to take a flight to New York. The 25th, the album drops. BandLab X David pop-up, day one, in-person meet, fan and greet, stripped down, acoustic set, group photo opportunity. Afterlife performed live for the first time at the BandLab pop-up acoustic set. David visibly breaks down, crying mid-song. I saw a lot of people talking about this. I think I had someone donate saying that they were there when he did this. He was performing some song called Afterlife, and he just started breaking down. Most online aggregators date the surface clip April 26th because that's when the widely shared Instagram reel went up. However, the same performance had already been posted on TikTok the prior evening. A fan account clip went up April 25th at 18:17 PT, minus 16 hours earlier. A clip cannot exist before its filming, which means that the performance itself happened on April 25th. This also matches BandLab's published programming. So this was like probably 2 days after the murder. This is a private investigator who doesn't even have everything to look at. So imagine what the cops have on him. That's that, man. I would love to see if I can get in contact with the private investigator. I would love to actually like talk with him and get his thoughts on everything.